Design Associates. We will be underway with our very first fight of the evening in just a few moments. Coming up, we have the fabulously talented Jake Tremain in a mixed martial arts bout against the up-and-comer, the monster, Kieron Yourston. And that's a 57-kilogram fight between two of the country's best up-and-coming amateur prospects, and that'll be just underway in a minute or two.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the K-Star show tonight here at the H Suite in Birmingham. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a fantastic bout on the card tonight for you, and we'd like to start that straight away. But before we do that, there are a few house rules. That being the first one, please make sure that all lights are switched off on your phones for filming the bouts, not to distract our athletes here in the cage and cause any problems further down the line. If there is an emergency this evening, then you will be directed to the fire exits, of course, for your safety. And please, where possible, if you just move around, try and make sure you don't obscure the view for others here tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, now then, without further ado, let's start with our first bout of the evening, and welcome to the cage, Jake Tremain!
Jake Tremain here, making his way to the cage. He is fighting in the 57-kilogram division, and it's one of the lighter weight divisions. But what you can get with the lighter divisions is generally more talent, more skill. And one of the reasons is, if you're a heavyweight fighter and you come into a gym and you're one of the bigger guys on the mat, you can muscle people, you can force moves, you don't have to rely so heavily on technique. But if you're in the 57-kilogram division, you're going to be one of the slightly smaller guys on the mat, which means you're constantly stuck with bigger training partners, and you have to have the smoothest technique. Kieron Yourston coming out representing the Fourth Dimension Gym, one of the UK's absolute best mixed martial arts gym. And one of the things I've noticed about the Fourth Dimension guys is they are so well rounded. Sometimes you have a gym that has a speciality. They are a striker's gym, a grappler's gym, a wrestler's gym, a jiu-jitsu gym. Fourth Dimension guys, they got it all. They're just so talented. They can put it all together and put it into literally mixed martial arts. Whereas sometimes maybe have a Thai boxing heavy gym and they're not so slick on the floor.
Representing Fourth Dimension, please welcome Kieron Yourston!
Here we go. We have Jake Tremain versus Kieron Yourston. Jake Tremain really has the Birmingham faithful here behind him. Will that hometown advantage pay off? It's also, it's slightly taller of the two fighters. Will he be able to use that range, keep him on the end of his jab, use the distance management? Here we go. First fight of the evening here at H Suite in Birmingham. Oh, interesting stance there from Jake Tremain. Very karate style. Sideways on, reminiscent of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the UFC, and great kicks off his back leg as well. So fast. Very kick kind of karate style. Oh, lovely knee up the middle as well by Jake Tremain. But Kieron Yourston has driven his opponent back to the cage. And like I was saying earlier, this is one of the things that we might see from Kieron Yourston is some of that slick wrestling and ground skills that we know that the Fourth Dimension Gym are so good at. And based on the striking we saw in the first few seconds there, Jake Tremain would like to separate, you get back to throwing those high kicks. Kieron Yourston doing a very good job getting his head in the right position. He's got his head on the chest below Jake Tremain, but Jake Tremain has managed to reverse the position using that long frame, that athleticism.
My controller's not working for the Zoom, guys.
Kieron Yourston does have that big right underhook. What that can mean is that he can turn him himself, but maybe a slight strength and weight advantage for Drake Tremain. It means he can lean on his opponent here. Kieron Yourston using that shin across the knee. So he's got his left leg and that shin across the leg. It makes it a little bit harder for Jake Tremain to throw strikes. Also, good balance. Oh, very good. Very equally matched, these two fighters. Jake Tremain just being the more active of the two so far. Great strikes at the beginning of the round. He's been the one holding against the cage. Lovely knees up the middle from Drake Tremain as well.
You still got me live?
Yourston, and it's all about that head position. You see, Jake Tremain's head, he's got his forehead pressed on Yourston's forehead. Oh, Yourston going for a trip with a power whizzer, but does he give up his back? Oh, Jake Tremain finishes on top. Yourston initiated the takedown, but ended up on the bottom. He's stuck in what we call full mount. So full mount is when someone is literally sat on you in that mounted position. Now what Kieron Yourston needs to do, he needs to bridge. So a bridge is when you push your hips in the air. You literally turn your body into a bridge just like that and you try and power out of it. But sometimes you give up your back, and he's done just that. Excellent work by Tremain to transition to the back. Will he be able to sneak the choke under the chin? It's very close with a short time left in the round. This choke is looking tight. 10 seconds. Can Kieron Yourston survive the round? Time. Literally saved by the bell was Kieron Yourston.
What's that? It's alright, mate, don't worry. No, it should be double A, shouldn't it?
That's a very interesting matchup of styles there. We saw Tremain with the karate sideways stance, throwing those beautiful kicks, lightning fast kicks, and Yourston trying to close the distance, work the takedowns. And he actually initiated the takedown with that kind of whizzer. So a whizzer is where someone's got an underhook, they've got their body around you, and you wrap your arm over the top of it, effectively trapping their arm to you. And a lot of like judo practitioners like this kind of move. They can try and get a big throw, a big hip throw, a big trip. But in this case, Yourston went for the takedown, but ended up on the bottom, just lost position, and then went for a perfect bridge. You know, absolutely excellent jiu-jitsu, but in the transition, Tremain managed to go straight to the back.
Tell him I'll be out in a sec.
Here we go for round two. Tremain versus Yourston at the H Suite in Birmingham. Tremain just loving that right kick. And now he's feinting it. Look at that. He's got Yourston biting on those feints as well. He's just putting his right hip forward. It's just, and it just means Yourston doesn't know which one's going to be the real kick. Shows real maturity, and he's also controlling the middle of the cage. You know, if you look here, come in and attack, and then step back to the middle. Come in and attack, and step back to the middle. And that shows, you know, both of these young fighters coming up. It shows real maturity and technique and control from Jake Tremain. Oh, lovely spinning hook kick. Barely punches though, Tremain. All kicks. But he's the lanky of the two, and he's got power on his kicks. But I think if he could put a nice little right hand behind it, or a 1-2, or even just stop feinting some punches, just like that. He heard me clearly. Spinning back fist. Look for a kick on the end of it. Oh, this is what Yourston's been looking for the whole time. The ability to close the distance. See Yourston's head. It's just not pressed, it's being driven away. You want your head right in the middle of their chest, and that means he's in a weaker position. And that's why Tremain can just drive and reverse the position. Now you see where Tremain's head is. He's got his forehead in his opponent's head. His head is pinned to the chest. He's got a nice straight back. This is a strong position. This is a much better wrestling, grinding against the cage position. But this is what amateur fights are about. This is about, Yourston going back to the gym, watching this fight back, being like a few small adjustments. Small adjustment on that wizard takedown, he could have been on top. Small adjustment on head position, he'd be able to fight a lot more effectively. Oh, beautiful left, thunderous hands from Jake Tremain. Tremain looking for the takedown again, ends up back in full mount. Once again though, this is slightly later in the round. We could see that Kieron Yourston gets saved by the belt again. Oh, what a good attempt, good attempt. He's giving up his back again. It's just one of the risks bridging from mount. It's giving up your back. Sometimes you want to trap an arm as you bridge, and then also sometimes you can bridge and then just slide your knee through to a guard, full guard, half guard, and it's a good position to be in. There's a short time left in the round, and once again, Jake Tremain is under the chin. It's just got a slightly awkward angle, which is going to make this hard to finish. 10 seconds left. I think we're going to see Yourston saved by the bell, but in the second round, the same way the first round ended, with Tremain on his back digging for chokes. Strong 2 rounds for Jake Tremain. The question is, can Yourston start making some adjustments? He's got good jiu-jitsu. Maybe, it's an unusual thing to suggest, but he can almost do with pulling guard, trying something different, because every time he tries to force the takedown, he's ending up on the bottom and mount as well, which is a tough position. And just so far, Tremain has just had his number. He's been able to counter everything. And for Tremain, I think he's got to start letting his hands go. He's got to land those kicks and get the right hand behind it. Because Tremain's not Yourston's not expecting it now. He's only had kicks thrown at him. This would be a good opportunity to now go to those hands. Jake Tremain, find me on Instagram at Chris Fensom MMA. Add me as a friend. Drop me a message. Let me know your background, because you've got beautiful karate, taekwondo style kicks. We'd love to know where you trained. Oh, nice front kick up the middle. He's the wonder boy of Birmingham. Yourston with some feints of his own. But Tremain slightly worried. Oh, nice high kick. Lovely kick again. Oh, Yourston faking the shot. Oh, eats the spinning back kick to the head. Gets his drive. He has been desperate to finish these takedowns. Just always ends up with his body in this awkward position where he's just not keeping his head in the center. He's ending up to the side in a weaker position, allowing Tremain to counter. This is looking a bit better. They've got his hands together. Could be getting this takedown. We could see the comeback of the century for Yourston. Kieron Yourston is very good at listening to his corner. Every time they ask for a switch to a different technique, goes straight to it. Very coachable young man. Oh, nice knee up the middle. Gotta appreciate the power sport. Oh, it's gone for a dart! Oh, I guess it's an anaconda from this angle. Anaconda choke, looking tight. If Tremain can hook the leg with his leg, just like he's trying to do, it means he can crank the neck and finish this choke. He actually managed to hook the arm. It's an unusual way to finish it. Basically, if you see Kieron's head is straight on from his body, so it's quite a strong position like that. You see he's got a slight angle there. But what Tremain wanted to do is bend his neck, and then he'd be able to get the finish on that. Usually you get that by hooking the leg and stopping them moving. Oh, nice trips there. Excellent. We saw this in the last round as well. Problem with Yourston relies on that whizzer so much to keep him safe, but now he's only got one hand to block those thunderous punches coming down from Tremain. Nice left hooks again. Knees up the middle. This is K-Star Academy Elite Combat MMA Fight Night. Oh, excellent. Look at this. I call him the Wonder Boy of Birmingham. He's the Khabib of Birmingham. Look at this, wrapping the legs. Thunderous ground and pound. Good. Here he goes. He's looking for that choke again. Once again, though, right at the end of the round. Oh, he's under the chin. Oh, excellent defense by Yourston. Just turns his head, just saves himself at the last second, keeps his chin down. Kieron's got 20 seconds to try and survive the rest of this round with the ferocious Drake Tremain on his back, thundering down on him. What a incredible fight Drake Tremain has had. He's got to showcase so many of his skills. And sometimes you don't want a quick finish as an amateur. You want a fight like this that goes the distance where, he got to try his takedowns, he got to work off the cage, he got to work some submissions, he put it all together into a variety of beautiful techniques. Absolutely brilliant performance there for the red corner. But, Tremain with the win tonight, clearly. But Yourston, he showed real heart fighting those submissions, defending to the last. Even right at the end, he knew he was a couple of rounds down. The choke was done, nearly had him, and he was still fighting literally in the last second. And just small adjustments, literally small adjustments, just the head an inch further back in the middle of his chest, keeping his back straight and bridging but trapping the arm, not just relying on bridging and turning, would make such a difference. That could have completely changed the course of this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, after 3 rounds of selection, we go to judges' scorecards. With a unanimous decision, your winner from the red corner, Tremain. Your appreciation, please, as opposing to leaders, we are here, but Kieron wants to start.
The Birmingham faithful so happy to see their man, Drake Tremain, come away with a win and an absolutely dominant performance.